Our feedbacks are totally amazing. Totally, totally amazing. And I appreciate you all again for the fact that you finished the course. And kudos to our follow up mission. And I think I love that. I appreciate that feedback because it tells us now that, irrespective of the fact that, or even though you paid for the course, there still has to be a mechanism that helps you to get the knowledge of that course. And that is very important. Now, you have said this, and just for me to emphasize a bit of what I already said during the, okay, it's the new this thing that I said, that the current course now, that because I had to re-record everything, I believe you are aware. So in that, my end remark was, or yeah, my closing remark was, now that you know all of this, I was doing a training yesterday for some real estate company, and I told them that I'm not a general sales coach. I didn't, there are some sales experts that they just learn about sales and begin to teach. If real estate, they will teach you do real estate. If it's a bank, they will do sales training in the bank. If it's this one, they will do. I'm not that person. I learned how to sell real estate the hard way over time. And the level I have gone to from zero to this point are the practical lessons that we are sharing here. And as I also would like to quickly add, that if me can sell real estate, anybody can. I you may think I have words in my mouth to talk, but to be frank, I'm not the person that wants to market anything to anybody. In fact, I've turned down the job. One of the reasons I turned it down was because there was a marketing part of the job. And as a lawyer myself, we were trained not to market or advertise. So that was the nurturing. That's supposed to be the practice. I would have preferred a job where I just do my thing in-house, maybe do inspiration kind of things, but that I have to market something, a product. And saying this right now, I'm beginning to realize that one of the reasons is now easier, and I think that's where the tweak happened, is because I don't market per se. I position myself and drag people who need my help. I don't know if you get that. Yes. Did you hear what I said online? Did you hear what I said online? Did people hear me? Yes, but yeah. You heard what I said, right? Yeah, that's very powerful. It just occurred to me right now. Because if, based on where I was coming from as an individual, because that was my natural comfort zone, as somebody who doesn't want to tell you to come and buy anything. Assuming I, for example, entered a company where they share flyers, and I carried flyers and took those flyers to people to share. If, in fact, because in that scenario, I'm trying to struggle out of that comfort zone. The moment people start telling you words that you don't want to hear, you bounce back, and that will be the end. And that was not my route. My route was positioning. For those of you who did not, for those of you who just graduated, I have added another powerful model in the course, which is why people were added to it. And the good thing is that as I keep growing, I would I would keep creating content around this conversation so that all of you will, I'll keep adding it. The one that I think I should not add. Also, I added an extra course, an extra class about how to target, attract, and settle Nigerians in diaspora. So I encourage us to pick. If you can't go through the course again, the one that you have been added to. If you can't, pick these two classes. The class on prospecting and positioning, the class on how to settle Nigerians in diaspora. Those were the two major additions I made. Then, if you can go through it, for those of you in Abuja, I added a very important class on the legal part of real estate in Abuja, right? So that was also a very important class to listen to. And then, now, wow. Also, if you can listen to Power of Attorney, I did. You know that I'm in this business every day. I am doing stuff every day. So what the mistake I made yesterday, I am recreating it. I am adding to it, right? So if you're somebody who follows me, you only can keep getting better because I am getting better every day. That is why these courses are being added. We plan to maybe create another course by the end of the year, because by the end of the year, the person talking to you right now would not be the person talking to you. That's the fact, right? So I encourage you, these courses I just mentioned, try and listen to them, right? So with the point I was trying to make a moment ago is that you are not just trying to drag people buy. Now you are positioning yourself, which is, and in fact, at that point, that is why it is natural for my clients to see me as somebody who is trying to help them. So you have all you need right now, and what is left is ruthless execution and consistency. Ruthless execution. And what is ruthless execution? Who can give me an idea what it means to be ruthless? Who has an idea of what it means to be ruthless?
Fearless.
To be fearless,
Unapologetic.
unapologetic. I like that one. To be dogged, no grief for anybody. Something like that. That's the pidgin English way to explain it. And this time around, this is not grief for anybody. It is that you self not grief for your comfort zone. You not grief for excuse. You are leaving no stone unturned. You are ruthlessly facing this thing. You are saying no to any excuse. I like to say that when there is a will, there will be a way. When you make up your mind that you are ready to do this thing, there will be a way. My phone camera is not good. There will be a way. There is a way. There is always a way. I am shy. There is a way to get out of it. If you are going to keep saying I am shy, I'm shy, will I am shy put money in your pocket? Have you ever benefited anything from being shy? No. And the very nice thing about excuse is that it is justifiable. Something nice to just put it together. After all, this one, that one. Some people are making it without showing their faces. There's a video I was supposed to watch this morning during my exercise time, but I'll do that before the day ends. It is a video that was talking about silent billionaires. And the reason I say I want to watch the video is because I want to interrogate the process, because I actually don't know any silent billionaire. If they are silent, they did not start being silent. They built a brand, and through the brand now becomes what is noisy, and they now hide. Some of them can just pump in their money into a system. I know of one right now, very powerful individual in Nigeria. So he leverage on something. Let me not go into details. Leverage on something, pumping a lot of money into the business that is now looking into going into. Put a brand to it, and the brand is making a lot of noise. Then he is quiet. Do you have that? How are you going to get your client if you are going to keep your face away from the camera? And I've said, I don't know if it is part of your own course, I said that there are three ways to do this thing. Either you just share flyer and post flyer on your WhatsApp status. That's the laziest way to sell real estate or market real estate. You are waiting for company flyer. Company flyer should only be needed when maybe a client is asking for details. You can now share the flyers carrying certain details that maybe you don't want to go into details. You just want to quickly just share with the client, or as a reminder purpose, just as part of your WhatsApp status activities, or maybe as part of your Facebook activities or social media activities. But it shouldn't be the primary medium of you marketing real estate. It's not hair you are selling. Even those that sell hair do videos to show us the hair, and you are selling a property of 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. In fact, some realtors will now carry 5 billion properties and put online and you're expecting village people to come and buy it? Or is it your friend that just graduated from Uniben that wants to buy the 5 billion naira? I said something yesterday that made sense. That that some of us, what we do as realtors is that we, let me call it the miracle strategy. Let me call it the miracle strategy. The miracle strategy. Okay, please let me write this down. I just developed a theory. The miracle strategy. The strategy, this is simply the idea of you depending on coincidences to sell real estate. I should be a lecturer. The idea of depending on coincidences. Is that correct English?
Yes.
To sell real estate. In other words, you don't have a predictable pattern of making this thing come.
Freestyle.
You just, so for example, I gave an example while doing the training yesterday, and I said you take your flyer, right? Meanwhile, this is our tag for Abuja Realtors conference. I hope all of you will be around. Those of you outside of Abuja, you can take a trip in, you'll have a great time. So you take company flyer, enter the street, and your spirit leads you to one guy that is riding Okada. And for whatever reason, this is not me trying to be derogatory, right? This is an example I'm giving, so let's try to understand it, right? And you see somebody on the road who, or somebody hawking or whoever on the street, and in a location that you know that there's no wealthy person that lives there, right? And you share flyer of a property of 10 million to the person. And for whatever reason, this person now tells you that, oh, my Oga lives in so place, or is the gate man to Oga, or something around that nature. And then he says, okay, I'll give the flyer to my Oga, and then he gives the flyer to Oga. And then Oga sees the flyer, calls you, and then buys the property of 10 million from you. That is coincidence. It will not happen every day. It cannot happen every day. It cannot happen every day. Never. You have to, there are different scenarios around this. That you share a flyer on your WhatsApp status, and the people on your WhatsApp status are students like you that just graduated, or your church or whatever religious institution you attend, that you know that the biggest car, the person that owns the biggest car in the place is, say, 5 million naira car. Or depending on your environment, depending on the circumstance, you just have somebody who sees your WhatsApp status but doesn't have the money to buy that property, and that says that, okay, I will tell my uncle. And then he tells his uncle, and his uncle decides to buy. That is not a consistent, predictable pattern of selling real estate. For you to succeed doing this, you have to design a structure that is predictable. I have a developer that is struggling with sales. And I believe I laid a bit of an importance on, or emphasis on, the importance of realtors. Did I do so? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Let me quickly, so that I will not forget. Let me just put it here. He was complaining about how sales was high somewhere in the year, but since then, nothing has been happening. And he wanted me to come on board because I stopped selling for some reasons. And he wanted me to come on board that sales dropped. And I was asking him some questions. Sales doesn't just happen. Something makes it happen. You must think like that as a realtor. So the question is, and I asked him, why do you think sales happened that month a lot? And he said he put a lot of money into TV adverts, millions into TV adverts on multiple platforms. But because it is a very expensive medium, he stopped. Naturally, sales stopped. So As a realtor, you have to understand, and why I wanted to quickly talk about the importance of you. So we have the developers here. Buying land is one thing, selling is another. I've met a lot of them because tell you how much will he give you, what do you want, this one, that one, come and help us sell and all those things. You are the guy in between. Whatever you call yourself, broker, consultant, we don't like agent. You spoil that name. My opinion, don't call yourself a marketer. Marketer, for that marketer one, never try. Did you hear me? Never call yourself a marketer to a client. The moment you call yourself a marketer, introduce yourself a marketer, you see somebody who wants to collect his money. Now, as a developer, you are, or as a broker, you are in between the developer and the client, or the person who wants to sell. Maybe say somebody is an individual. Let me add an individual, right? You're selling for an individual, a community, because I believe you remember there are 4 or 5 entities that you can sell to. I said that, right? So you are the person in between, the middleman. You connect this person to this person. So if you have a lot of these people, the clients, then this developer is going to value you. That is why I have very special relationship with a lot of developers, right? And they don't want to joke with you. They don't want to play with you. I was right here I just came back from site about entering the office, and the developer calls me and says he wants to come and appreciate me outside my commission, and then brought good money, right? So you are important. And you need to have that understanding, because when you have that understanding, it will help you appreciate your position and position yourself properly, because you are helping this person, you are helping this person. They are not doing you a favor if you know your worth. So you have to properly position yourself in a way that whenever they want to deal with this person, you are the person they want to go to. Whenever this guy wants to make sales, you are the person he goes to, because he knows you have the client. So back to the analysis that made me bring this point is the fact that you cannot always depend, or you have to make sure you design your sales structure in such a way that your sales is consistently predictable. I'll give you another practical example. I have a developer who we're selling for, and because he wasn't keeping the promises, we stopped. And then he called me one day and said, Raymond, what happened? Sales have dropped. I said, you are the cause. And he said, okay, I should come, let's see. And we analyzed. I told him this, that. He promised he did not do it. If you do this thing, sales will come back. Why did sales stop? Sales stopped because I stopped advertising the property. I stopped putting it out there. I stopped putting it on my WhatsApp because my WhatsApp status is very powerful. I stopped anything. That's why you remember we talked about marketing activities, right? So I stopped everything, marketing activities for that particular product, and sales needed to stop, and it stopped. And I told him that once you do this, just fulfill this promise. There were 3 promises. Fulfill 2. When you fulfill 2, I'll go back to the market. I'll continue with marketing activities. And then doing that, within the sales that we made in the first 1 month of putting the property, we made almost times 2 after we went back in the market. So your marketing should be predictable, and how is for you to remember. I talked about first, of course, those marketing activities, and those activities that will help you continue to generate quality leads. We also talked about that, right? So you are going to have to ruthlessly execute or continue to do those things ruthlessly. The more you do those things, the more you are going to have to keep filling this pipeline. Do we remember your sales funnel? So your job as a realtor is to consistently fill this pipeline of quality leads. The more you consistently do these activities, the activities I told you that generate quality leads, the more you consistently do this, the more this is going to, sales will keep happening. Sales will keep happening here because you are doing what you have to do here. And when you do it right, you won't have to pump in millions into like what this developer did here. So for you, sales become predictable because you know that. And then one thing you also have to understand is that for rain to for rain, it's a scriptural context. For rain to continually fall, you have to continually put something in the cloud. Our normal science says that it's like a circle. It goes up and then there's a downpour. It goes up and there's a downpour. If you want a downpour, then you have to consistently put something out there that generates the downpour. It is as simple as that. In other words, those that reach out to you in January will most likely not be those that will pay in February. The sales that I've made this month, today is what? Today is 12th. I've sold uh, one land, 6 units of apartment, and one other land today. But they did not come this month. They came last month, December. So the sales that most likely will make in February, most likely will be people who came in January. That's why last year, 2023, the week that the 2 weeks I know that sales did not happen were because I did not do certain activities the month before. And I knew that was going to happen. So you have to understand that predictable part of this thing so that you constantly do what will constantly bring the clients that will constantly lead to sales. All right, so let's take the questions.
So that's my name.
I wish I heard you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, ask your question again, please.
Okay. I say for someone that is so much interested in house selling of houses, like selling of apartments, like as you have this estate in Abuja, selling of houses, media rooms, all these there's one you put there, even this apartment by this of houses like that. In Asaba, we don't have something like the real estate in Asaba and Abuja. Abuja is far much ahead. We up to that stage. The thing in Asaba now we have only few of one that I don't know of, just one. And I'm so interested in selling of the houses, even though I'm trying to put land into it now. So it doesn't mean that I'm in my comfort zone. I have to leave Asaba to come to Abuja so that actualize my dream. And Asaba is my base, where most of my clients are. So I don't know.
Okay, so if I get your question correctly, you are asking for how to sell apartments or houses in Asaba, right?
Yes. But we don't have it.
What did you say?
But we don't have it.
Okay, but you don't have it. So, do you plan building anything like that?
Yes. If the funds available, I will head into I will do it.
Do you know if that is a demand in the Asaba real estate market?
For where? It's not a demand.
Sorry?
It's not really here.
What
The
I'm,
houses we have here is people that have built houses and then probably they have issues to sell.
let me be
that
sure you
they
let
want
me
to
be
sell the
sure you
house.
understand the question. Do clients ask for something like that in Asaba? Do they want something like that in Asaba?
Yes. Yes. I've met one or two that asked me. People like, this house, is it an estate? I'll be like, no, it's not an estate house. It's not somebody that's built house and then has issues and want to sell it.
Okay, so now that there's a demand, because one of the things, if there wasn't a demand, that would have become an issue. If there was no demand, then that becomes an issue because you're going to have to try to create the demand, and that becomes more difficult. So since the demand is already there, and maybe you are not ready to start doing that yourself, then you can reach out to developers. There's no harm. The developer already has the land, right? Because the developer already has the land, you can say, okay, Mr. Developer. In fact, this should have been a special. Can we have a special conversation? I don't want to put this out.
No problem.
Did you hear me?
No problem. Yes, I heard you.
I would say you should pay for the special conversation, but we have a relationship.
No,
All right.
about it.
So attend to this specially. I don't want to put this online. I don't want to put it out there.
No problem, sir. No problem. No problem.
Or do we want answers to the question here as realtors? But we'll have to take it away from the video. I'll have to go into this. That's the reason I didn't want to more questions. This is quite specific. Next question.
Okay, sir, I have a question.
All right.
Yes, sir. It's all about that Facebook ad targeting. No, have a course to that. That's the question, sir. To target the right people. The
How
way
to
it is.
target how to target clients on Facebook.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Is that modesty? Okay. So the first thing I need us to understand, in my opinion, right? Okay, I think. Okay, so first understand that if you're going to have that, you shouldn't, let me say it, you shouldn't depend wholly on ads, especially when you don't have a brand that is visibly trustworthy. And you're going to have to be patient. Don't expect a client that came through ad today to buy today. Because nobody that worked hard for his money would want to put it into real estate overnight. They may want to put it into real estate overnight, but not with you that they just met overnight. That's the first thing I'm going to have to say. We can leave it at that. Now, about targeting your ads, one of my problems with Facebook, and let me add, I believe I may have said it in the course, I have never put out any property. This is an estate, Raymond Estate. To this point, I've never done that. All my leads are organic, all my sales are organic. So you can have that as well because the leads that come through those natural means, to me, they quite quality. Permit me to use that phrase. Now, if you want to target, and what, yeah, part of the problem I wanted to quickly talk about is the fact that Facebook is updating, always updating their platform for ads. So if I'm going to say this is how to do it, in the next 2 weeks, that may no longer be how to do it. That is why I do not want to even create anything like that. Right? But be that as it may, the basics are you're looking to target Lagos. There's a part on the system on your manager right there where you simply can tag Lagos if you're looking at Lagos people, right? Or you can even also tag people that buy other products, are interested in other products. Those things are there, right? And then maybe somebody that buys a lot of cars, he might be interested in buying real estate because he has the money. So that way you are targeting quality individuals based on what they are buying, right? So, or you can specifically just target your location. But the one that is almost difficult, almost impossible to target is targeting those abroad. That one is a bit difficult, a bit technical because they have policies, or other countries have policies that make it impossible for you to collect the money they have and bring them to want to put in Nigeria. So they try to put a lot of limitation. And from the knowledge I gathered, you can use a website route. So you have to build a website route to be able to do that. And then that is also still not consistent because once the moment notice that you got a route to do what you're not supposed to do, once they find out, they change it again, right? So my opinion on the subject matter of ads is if you want to do it, do it. And the fact that once you get your targeting right, based on location, based on interest, those are the two key things for me: based on location, based on interest, right? Once you're able to key in, or was able to lock in on that, all you have to do is be patient. Don't expect them to buy today. If not, you will give up on ads. Somebody can reach out to you today from ads and buy from you next year because the person has observed you over a period of time. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? All right, one more question. All right, then. So let's do our practicals. This is the last part of the class, and then we'll do our graduation. Last part of the class, and then we'll do our graduation. Okay, so our practical class are designed to help you know how to have conversations with clients when they call you, right? So I need us to participate, pay attention, and learn as much as we can.